Here we go. First episode of the Top 100 for real for 2026. I just realized I'm about to film this that as you see things shift around in the background, it might give you some hints as to what's coming up. Like there was a game that was right up here, last one that I'm about to talk about soon. Listen, it's just the kind of quality you've come to expect from this channel and myself in particular. Uh, Without much further ado, let's get into things. Number 100 was 58 last year. It was 58 the year before that, so it's fallen a little bit. This is Merchants of Magic, first of the roll and rights on the list. This is an interesting game where you are playing as a shopkeeper who's selling things to adventurers. The theme is pretty weak. I mean, it's a roll and write. Most of them, the theme is pretty weak, but it's very satisfying in that you're very much paying attention to what your neighbors are doing, especially the person to your right, because they're passing these item cards to you, and the item cards are very important. If somebody's getting all the ones that are like the fire or the for the dwarves or something, all the items that go with certain things, you might not want to go for those same things. You can pick up other items from them. It says it plays up to 8. You can run into a little bit of issues with the deck running out when you play with 8, but I don't mind. I still play with 8. It's fun. That is Merchants of Magic. Number 99 is new to the list, though not a new game. I don't know why it showed up this time and hasn't before. This is Furnace. Great game. Amazing how light this is, because there's not much in here other than a deck of cards and some bidding things. This is another one of those games like Merchants of Magic that actually, this one even has a lot more player interaction. The theme is that you're just like a 19th century industrialist. Quite so. But you are getting all these factories, and to get the factories, you're bidding on them with these little bidding tokens. So the interesting thing is, whoever puts the highest number on a factory gets that bidding token. But the people who have their numbers on there but not the highest ones, they get these bonus up at the top. They call it income, I think. Or you get certain things. So if you have your 3 on this card, but somebody else has their 4, yeah, they get the card and they'll get to run the factory every turn. But you are going to get 3 times that, so 3 coal and 3 iron. So sometimes you want to win, sometimes you want to lose, and there's special abilities for the different player powers, and you're really just trying to get the most points you can and eke out the most that you can from your engine. Really interesting game. That's Furnace. I think it's what, 1 to 4 players, 2 to 4 players. Yeah, you wouldn't want to play this solo. That doesn't make sense. And it says 30 to 60 minutes. That's pretty true. If everybody knows what they're doing, you could finish this game in 30 minutes, even a 3 or 4 player game. Furnace. Number 98, I do not have. It was 82 last year. It was 26 the year before that. It was 83 the year before that. It bounced around a bit. Looks like it's about to fall off the list. And that is Brass Birmingham. I'm about to sneeze. More of the quality you can come to expect on this channel. Brass Birmingham is, of course, number 1 on Board Game Geek, and it is a good game. Am I rating it lower just because it's number 1 on Board Game Geek and I'm like, oh, I'm too good for it? Yeah, maybe. Okay, get off my back. And of course, I don't own it. I play Bob's copy sometimes. And Brass Birmingham is a complicated, it's right in that weight I like, where it's medium heavy, and you're building things out on the board. A lot of player interaction, a lot of blocking, resource management, upgrading your player board. A lot of things I should like. One of the things I'm not a big fan of the theme. I mean, I guess it's kind of the same theme as Furnace, but I'm also not a big fan of that theme in there either. But also, it's kind of punishing in a way that some of the other games that I rate higher are not. I'm just talking down on it. I should be talking it up because it is on my top 100, and I do like the game. But maybe I'm talking down on it because everybody else rates it number 1. Anyway, worth trying if you're into those heavy, medium heavy Euro games. Number 97 is the opposite of medium heavy Euro game. This is Rail Pass. Rail Pass is a cooperative dexterity game in real time, where you put 10 minutes on the timer, and then you're all passing these trains back and forth with these little cubes loaded on them. As you pass on the other player, you have to say toot toot. It's in the rules. You must say toot toot. And I love teaching that rule because I get to say toot toot. But then, of course, all the game, you're like toot toot, toot toot, and you're trying to pass to somebody else. Very stressful in the best way. Plays best at 6, so that if you're playing at 5, then one person has to play 2 different player colors, which is fine, and you can do it, but I wouldn't go lower than 5. Yeah, 5 or 6 player game, and it's a lot of fun. And if you spill the cubes, they're lost forever, and you can no longer get a perfect score. Um, I love the stress that a game like this brings on. That is number 97, Rail Pass. Let's see, number 96 is this new to the list? No, it was 54 last year. Number 96 is a deck builder, though the deck building is not really the main point of the game. This is Endless Winter Paleo Americans. Another game that Bob has that I do not. This is another one that medium heavy weight has some things in common with like Dune Imperium, which is higher on the list. Um, yeah, it's really interesting decision making, especially because there's a worker placement thing. But whoever goes to each of the spots, lots of people can go there. Whoever goes there first gets a certain added benefit. And so then your main guy can give you an added benefit if they go to a certain spot. And you are of course trying to collect these decks. Theme is fun. It's ancient, prehistory people, and doing hunting. Yeah, it's one of those games where there's a lot going on. You can pick and choose what to do. I do feel like it's a little hard to know how to do well at the game. Um, but it's a lot of fun. That's Endless Winter, Paleo Americans. Number 95 was off the list last year, but had been on the list the 3 years before. This is Neom, or Neom, depending on how you want to say that. When the list started back in 2020, this was number 22. In a lot of ways, this has a lot in common with Seven Wonders, but it's tile laying. You're laying these tiles on your board, and you're also creating little paths to your city. I like it a lot. The biggest difficulty I have with this game is it's hard to teach. This is one of those games where people have to kind of be okay with not doing well their first time playing, and that's okay. Like it's cool enough that I think people will enjoy it even if they're not doing well. But you're collecting resources, and then you're building all these buildings, and a lot of them have different effects. And like you have to worry about your housing, you have to worry about your energy, you have to worry about pollution, like all these different things you're balancing. But in the end, you're just looking at a hand of like 7 tiles, 2 to 7 tiles, choosing the best one from there and playing it. And that's a lot of fun. That's really cool. I like it a lot. Neom. Number 94, another one I don't own. The last of the ones I don't own on this list. Sorry, there's 3 on this one, which is a lot actually for this top 100. 94 this year was 97. It was on the list before that, 79, 67. So I always like this game. It's somewhere around in this area usually. This is Trajan. This is from Stefan Feld, who we might hear more about very soon, and we might hear about much later on the list. Stefan Feld's a great designer. I like a lot of his games. I don't think I've ever played a Stefan Feld game that I dislike, but a lot of them are kind of in the same sort of like, yeah, this is good kind of range. Trajan kicks it up a notch, bam, by by having this little Mancala element where you are on your turn, you're choosing all of the little discs, all the little things from one of these little bowls, and you're moving them around, and then wherever you land, that's the action that you're taking. Did I say that wrong? I said that wrong. It's been a while since I played. Great game though. I really like it. Stefan Feld does this point salad thing, which is really interesting. But you need other things on top of the point salad to make it interesting. Point salad being a term where everything you do gives you points. Some things you do give you more points. So that's great. Just find the things that maximize your points. The Mancala thing is a nice little puzzle that's very satisfying to get correct. And I think that's why Trajan is one of his, I think my 3rd favorite game of his. But let's talk more about Stefan Feld. That was number 94. Number 93 is Castles of Burgundy, which I think is my 2nd favorite Stefan Feld game. I'll have to double check, but I think there's only one higher up on the list. Castles of Burgundy is kind of the one of his that is the most popular, and with good reason, I think, because you're making this cool little puzzle on the board by playing all these little colored hexagons onto your board in different areas, and they all do different things, and they give you points in different ways, and the order in which you get them is really interesting. You are rolling dice and then drafting dice and doing actions with those dice. So all of those combine to make a game that allows you to feel clever, and really that's like that little hit of dopamine is really like, ooh, feels good. Like yeah, what's this game been on my list? It was 78 last year, so it's dropped a bit. It's bounced around. It was 53 when I first did the list. This is one of the ones that's been on there. This is the fifth, all 5 times. Um, and this is a really good game. I don't play it as much as I should, even though I do own a copy, which I believe used to belong to Brad and Jen. So shout out to Brad and Jen, because sometimes I have games that have these nice little like. Oh no! I had it upside down. These disaster. These nice little component holder bins or some sort of upgrade like that. And it's always because I got it used from someone who did that themselves. Like I am not one to upgrade my games with that. Maybe I should be, but like just put them in put the components in a plastic bag and throw them in there. It's fine. It'll work out fine. Sidetrack. That was number 93. Number 92 is a solo-only game. I think one of 2 solo-only games on the list. I could be wrong because I didn't look it up ahead of time. This is Resist. Resist is a deck-building game about the Maquis, which is after the Spanish Civil War, a group of loyalists to the Republic known as the Maquis. I'm just reading the back now. That's not fun. So in this game, you have your kind of freedom fighters who are resisting like the fascists under Franco. Cool theme, really like it. Reminds me a lot of my favorite Ernest Hemingway, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Side note, it tolls for thee. But what you're doing is you have this deck of cards that are all your freedom fighters and sometimes traders, and you're trying to play them to go on these missions. In order to do that, though, usually you can either play them in their like hidden side where they maintain their cover and they aren't blown, or you can play them for a big explosive effect. But when they do that, they either go out in a blaze of glory or they get captured and they are then out of your deck. So this is a game that manages to be about war while addressing kind of a little bit, to a tiny extent, the horror of war. And you can get kind of attached to these people. You're like, oh, this guy has helped me out a lot. I really appreciate this guy. But now he's going to die. And you're also kind of making that choice. Like, it's a game, it's an abstraction of a lot of things. But really interesting that it makes you feel the pain of loss associated with war. There's another game I have called The Grizzled, which is not on my list, which is all about that. This one manages to do it while also being like just a complex, interesting, solo-only deck building game. Number 92, Resist. That was 51 last year. Number 91 is, I believe, my highest solo-only game on the list, though not the only. There's a game higher up that I treat as solo-only, even though it's not. This is the 5th year it's been on the list every single time. Friday, number 91, also solo-only, also deck-building game. In this game, you are playing as Friday, helping out Robinson Crusoe, and he is very dumb, and you are not, and you know how to survive, and so you have to help him and like get him through all these trials and like fight off the wild beasts, and eventually the pirates attack, and if you can beat the pirates off, if you can help Robinson Crusoe beat the pirates off, you win the game. Said that in a funny way. We won't laugh about it right now, though. This is a very hard game, but you certainly kind of get used to it. Now, it's been a while since this was for a while something I played like fairly regularly. This is the lowest it's ever been. Like started on the list at 45. Last year was 69. It's kind of bounced around in that 40 to 70 area recently. It's just a good reminder. I need to play this more. Friday's great. Now that I have a board game coffee table, thanks, Matthew. Maybe I should set up some Resist and Friday and just keep them up there and play them occasionally. That would be cool. And it would keep me off my phone, which is good. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. That's 100 through 91. Let me know what you think. Let me know which one of these games you like and which ones you hate. And yeah, I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot. Bye.